Have you ever wondered how successful people like some businessmen, some influencers, or anyone on that category have a complete control over their lives? Like, with everything hectic going on around them, with their busy schedule and appointments, with days that they need to have a new content or a product, they manage to have a perfect balance with their everyday living. Like they could still have some time with their family, social gathering with their friends, or meeting some new people. So how do they do it? How do they get to have this balance with a time for everything, for family and for friends, and for their work? It's this thing that we call balance. Take our feet for example. I know it's a weird thing to correlate with our topic, but please bear with me. So there are some people who are born flat-footed. The stereotype of this kind of people is that they tend to run not that well, like they easily stumble and fall on the ground. Unlike those who are not flat-footed, most of us say that they have a better balance. Basically, it's like some people are born with a good balance. Some are not, but through our life experiences, even a flat-footed like me, we can learn how to grasp that balance we need and walk confidently to this thing that we call life. However, it's easier said than done. I think most of us, and every time it's just that. We often tell to ourselves and even others our plans, our dreams, our goals in our lives, and yet we can't even start it. Especially at this time, Covid-19 has certainly shaken all of us. But then again, have you ever wondered, or are you wondering still, what this pandemic has done to those that fear or are well balanced, famous, rich, or healthy? Has this global crisis shaken them from their path as well? Or do they still have a clear goal on whatever they want? Or are they thrown off guard? Well, there's nothing really wrong with it, but only if stability lies within you, within yourself. When there's stability in your heart, within your mind, and even within your spirit, everything will fall into place. But the question is, how? I am Yluj Santiago, 19 years old, taking AP Psychology, trying to just survive from myself. And this is my mounted talk. Okay, so let's go back. How can we achieve stability and balance within ourselves? In my case, I know and I could feel that I don't have both of those things, especially at this time of crisis. I am alone. Well, not that alone, but alone in a way that I am not with my family. Most of us are with our family. They went back home, but I couldn't. I feel scared, especially at this time. Most of the time on this era. Because I am an anxious person, like I tend to worry a lot. I get easily anxious. Like whenever I read or see something on the news or on the social media about the pandemic or anything that sounds bad, I tend to worry a lot to this world, to my parents, to my friends, and to myself. I am one of those people that are prone to overthinking. Like, sometimes I tell to myself not to do it. Like, don't overthink. like you could control it. And yet, I would just find myself crying because those thoughts, those emotions that are caused by those thoughts, by those worries, are affecting me a lot. And I feel stressed. Like, ever since high school, I tend to be stressed a lot when I started to care about things, especially on my academics. As a student, being within this crisis that is going on, and with our minor subjects, major subjects, and the requirements to comply with, there are deadlines, and the university is telling me to pay so that you would able to be enrolled for the next school year. It really drains me, like, it's hard to breathe easily, like breathe with peace, when there are things that you can't control. Like, for instance, I can't control that aspect where my parents can't pay for my balance on this semester. So there is a possibility that I can't enroll for the next school year. And that's where worry, anxiety begins. And that's where overthinking also starts. It is hard. It is really hard. Like, in times like this, people naturally worry about their well-being and security. Even though I could say that I am safe and I eat a lot. I mean, not eat a lot. I eat 3 times a day. I can take care of myself physically in terms of having food to eat, in terms of not worrying about what food to eat and what drink to drink. It still affects me, This pandemic still affects me. But yet, we should validate ourselves for this. We should validate that it's okay to feel scared, that it's okay to worry, it's okay to be anxious. It's ironic for me to say it, but we should always tell ourselves that even though it's okay to feel those things, it should not be okay to be controlled by it. If I could go on in my life while not worrying about the safety of others and the peace of the world, how could I still call myself a human? So that's the kind of person that I am. I feel too stressed most of the time. I tend to worry, and sometimes I get scared. All of those emotions that I have mentioned, they don't sound a good fit or a good ingredient to have stability, isn't it? But then here are some things that I researched that are helping me recently, and it may help you as well on how to keep on moving forward with a stability within you, especially at this time of pandemic and crisis. So according to Self, it's a website. Number 1 is to get plenty of sleep. It's important for both of your physical and mental health because it regulates our chemicals that transmit information to our brain, and it is also important to have a good sleep because it regulates our emotions. So if you ever feel like your mind or yourself are starting to worry or starting to overthink, look at your clock, and if it's past midnight, you should tell yourself go to sleep. because it really does affect your state, your mental state and your well-being. Then number 2 is to give yourself a permission to take a mental health day when you need it. So if you feel so overwhelmed, so stressed, so tired of complying with requirements, just surviving another day, take a day to just do nothing, to maybe even sleep a lot, or give yourself a treat, like eating your favorite snack, your favorite drink, and just keep your mind and your heart off for a minute or for a day from those stressors. And then after a few days or one day or two, get back on track, because it will make you more productive when your mind is clearer. Okay, so number 3 is do something else besides watching Netflix or scrolling your social media before going to bed. This is really so for me, like I tend to watch recently Netflix shows and films that I would not mind sleeping at 4 a.m. and at worst I sleep at 9 a.m. Yep. Because I would just play a game on my phone, and then it would just keep me awake at night, because there is an energy that gives you to just keep playing. And then for social media, we should limit ourselves to use our social media, especially on Facebook, on Twitter, where there are a lot of news that are being transmitted on those websites, because social media is one of the factors that tend to worry or give anxiety to a person. So we should limit really ourselves, like we could just use social media for something necessary, for talking to our loved ones, or for requirements in our school or in our work. And then number 4 is to take literally 5 minutes to meditate. It may seem so dull or just you know what I mean, but it's really effective for me, and I'm one of those people that could be considered as a proof. When I started to meditate, I would do it after I work out, and then I would just sit and then look at the nature or on the environment that is surrounding me, and then breathe in, breathe out, and then just let my mind not think. Then after those minutes, I would feel really refreshed. Like after working out, you're tired, but yet your mind feels so refreshed and calm. It really helps. It really helps for you to lower down your cortisol level. Yep. So that's for number 4. And for number 5, if you're a student like me that has a lot of requirements to do every day, and then there would be times that you don't know and you can't focus on what subject to do first, then I could recommend that you should list down the things that are need to be prioritized. That's what I usually do, because I am a easily prone to stress kind of person. So I would just list down 3 to 5 things to do for today, and if I could not do most of them, then give yourself a tap on your shoulder and say to yourself that it's okay. You did great. It's having a positive affirmation to yourself, or giving yourself appreciation to even small things that you do. It's a good thing. It has a really good impact. And then number 6 is to exercise. Exercising really helps you to get rid of those stress, of those worries for a bit. At least you would get healthy, and that you would have this habit of trying to be fit, even though you are sitting in your room all day doing your requirements. At least you get to work out, to sweat, and to have some sunlight. And then number 7 is wake up early. I know it sounds hard, but no matter how late you sleep or slept, you should wake up early, because you would really feel, how do I say this? You would really feel crap. Like you would feel so unmotivated, demotivated, so disinterested, so lazy to do your stuff for today, because there would be less time. And just waking up early really helps for you to have this feeling of motivation to start your day good, to have a time for your requirements. And then I would finish this with the last thing that you could do, and it is to start your day with reading God's Word. Reading God's Word gives me stability, really. Like starting my day early, and then having a good breakfast, and then I would read my devotional and my Bible planner, Bible reading. It really gives me this feeling that God's got my back. Especially if you start your day with a prayer, or you would end your devotional time with a prayer. And that's in my case. If you are not that religious, then you could just wake up early and have a good breakfast. So that's it for my Monk TED Talk for today. And thank you for listening.